Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Saturday Story Time with me, Mary. Oh, I just love Saturdays. They've become one of my favourite days because I get to see you and spend the morning with you reading you stories, and I just love it. Now, before we get started, just a reminder, if you'd like to say hello to me, or you have a question for me, or you'd just like to show me a picture of the craft that you've done for the week, please post it in the comments on Arizona Broadway Theatre's Facebook page. I would love to say hello to you back, and I just love seeing all the fun things you've been doing with your week. So now let's get started. Oh, what does our carpet bag have in store this week? Let's see. Oh, wait. Well, it's the letter M again. Well, music was our theme last week, wasn't it? Well, I guess it must be a different theme. What are some other words that you can think of that start with the letter M? You can go ahead and shout them out so I can hear them nice and loud. Oh yes, well, it could be monkeys again, I guess. But what are some other words that start with the letter M? Let me hear them nice and loud. Oh yes, mechanics. It could be this, a mechanic. I'd always wanted to know how to fix a car. Could be interesting. And what? Well, I think we better see, shall we? Put this right up here once more. The letter M. It's like an old friend, isn't it? Let's see. Oh. Annas. Annas. Manners. Oh, well, manners. Manners might be one of my absolute favourite themes. Manners are the things or words that we use to be polite and to be considerate towards others. Now, I love manners. You may remember me saying, Jane, don't stare, because staring is not polite. That's not good manners. As well as, close your mouth, Michael, we are not a codfish. That means we don't want to gawk and gape at things that make us excited. Again, that is not good manners. There are so many manners that we can use on a daily basis that just make us so much more kind towards each other. And I can't wait to discover them with you. I have an excellent idea. Shall we go on a picnic? There's not a better place to talk about manners than on a picnic. Yes, why don't we, shall we? Oh, I'm going to gather up my things. And gather your things as well. I think I might need my teacup for this, because what a better place to have tea than on a picnic, yes? And, we shall definitely bring you with us, shall we? Well, all right. Let's see. Are we ready to go to a picnic? All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness gracious. What a lovely picnic my friends are having. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, and what a wonderful place to have a picnic today, isn't it? Now, hello. Please excuse me for popping in like this, but may I join your picnic? Well, thank you. Oh, I'm so excited to have a picnic with my friends. Come, join us. Put my bag over here, I think. And, oh, look at everything you're having. What a delightful tea. Well, it just so happens that I brought my own. have my own teacup here. Now I know that all of you think that manners are very important as well, don't you? And some of the time you can have really great manners when you're sharing food with each other, or having a picnic, or sitting at the dinner table. And I know my friends are very polite as well. So why don't we demonstrate some of the ways that we can have good manners when we're with each other? Now, Samantha, something I could say to her is, would you please pass the punch? Well, thank you. Oh, looks delicious, doesn't it? Pour myself some. Ooh. Oh, it looks so divine. Thank you so much for sharing your punch with me. Rum punch, my favorite. Oh, well I would love to share a story that I brought with me. Would you like to join me for a story? Would you like to join me for a story as well? Fantastic, come on over, I have just the one. It's called Manners Can Be Fun. Let's begin, shall we? Having good manners is really just living with other people pleasantly. If you lived all by yourself, out on a desert island, others would not care whether you had good manners or not. It wouldn't bother them. But if someone else lived there with you, you would both have to learn to get along together pleasantly. If you did not, you would probably quarrel and fight all the time, stay apart and be lonesome because you could not have a good time together. Neither would be much fun. With them quarrelling on there, huh? And then separate over there all alone. Sad. But most of us don't live on desert islands, so this is what we do. We meet people. How do you do? If I'm a boy. When I meet you for the first time, I smile and I shake your hand. If you're a lady or a girl, I take my hat off. It's very polite. If we already know you, we say good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Very often, the people we like most live in the same house as us. We see them so often, we sometimes forget to be nice to them as we are to others. Most of the time, it is just because we do not think of it. So let's see how we start the day. We get up in the morning, when we should, and we don't have to be called more than once. There they are getting up and Mum's yelling. We wash ourselves and brush our teeth without fussing and making faces. And we don't leave our clothes and towels around for others to pick up. We have to be neat and tidy, don't we? When we're at the table, we have a good time because we eat what we should and we talk about pleasant things we have seen and done. There we are, all eating together. It's lovely, isn't it? We don't have puffy cheeks from talking with our mouths full. Oh my goodness, it's so impolite. And we don't choke because we don't drink when we still have food in our mouths. Oh dear, that would be terrible, wouldn't it? Other people like to talk to us because we wait until they finish talking before we start. We don't try to shout louder and butt in like goats. Oh dear, no, do we? If we want something, we say please. We say thank you if you help us or give us something or do things for us. When I play with other boys, we take turns doing things we want to do. If we are playing games, we follow the rules. If one of us doesn't always try to change things so that he will win, we play for fun. When I play with other girls, We share our things and take turns doing what we like to most. We don't whine or cry and quarrel when we don't have everything our way and go home angry. It would be terrible, wouldn't it? There are some people we don't like to play with, and here they are. The pigs. They have all sorts of toys, but they never let anyone else play with them. They just squeal, "That's mine." There they are. How terrible, huh? This is Whiny. Whinies always have lumps in their throats and cry because they can't do just what they want. They whine if they can't have things they should not. They whine if they can't go along when they should not. And they whine when no other people tell them no. Oh, how they whine. The noisies. They shout and scream and yell, and I can't even think. They make so much noise. They make me tired. This is me first, who never took turns. He wore his arms off grabbing things first. He wore his legs off pushing in every place first. And his face is this way because he always tried to see first. Oh dear, look at him. Smash, rip, and ruin. Smash is never happy unless he's breaking things. His things, your things, everybody's things. Rip is terrible. She destroys everything that she can tear, books, dresses, paper, everything. Sometimes Ruin uses a hammer. Sometimes he uses ink or paint, and sometimes he doesn't use anything but his hands. But he always spoils things so that no one can enjoy them anymore. Putting things back. Smash, rip, and ruin nearly always destroy the things they use. Oh dear. If they don't, they forget to put them back where they belong. Then other people come along and step on them or have to put things back for them. Don't be a smash, rip, or ruin. Oh dear, no. Be kind to animals. They have feelings too. They do, don't they? Look at those adorable cats and dogs. Visiting. When we go to someone's house to visit and have a good time, we thank them when we leave and say goodbye. While we are there, we do not act like the noisies, the pigs, me first, the whinies, smash, rip, and ruin, Touchy, and the snoopers. I wonder who Touchy and the snoopers are. Oh, this is Touchy. Wherever he goes, he touches things. He never thinks whether he should not. Maybe it's because he hasn't any head. He's all hands. Look at him, all hands, touching everything. Snoopers walk right into rooms where other people are when the doors are closed. If they knocked first and asked if they might come in, people would not call them snoopers. This is Yawner, who yawned so much without putting his hand over his mouth that his mouth grew so big he couldn't cover it. So sad. That's right, when we yawn. Oh, it's very polite to put your hand over your mouth, isn't it? When night comes, it is time for sleep. And people who like us all day say good night. Then it is time for us to go. Only whinies stand about, dear, while we are first in bed. Oh my goodness, look at this. Because we're not a whiny, are we? No, we aren't. And we're not a touchy, and we're not a stand about, and all those things, and certainly not rip and ruin, yes? What a wonderful book. Oh, wonderful. Now, I have a song that I'd love to share with you. Are you all ready to sing a song? Are you all ready to sing a song with me as well? Oh, wonderful. Well, why don't you go ahead and stand on up, and we can shake out the sillies a little bit, shall we? And if you don't know the words, don't worry. Just follow along with me. Are you ready? All right. There are lots of things we can do to be nice. Sometimes it's hard to remember. But there are two little things you should never forget from January through December. I'm talking about please and thank you. They're called the magic words. If you want nice things to happen, they're the words that should be heard. Remember, please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Use them in the morning, at noon, at night. It's a great way to be polite. Please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Remember, please and thank you. They're called the magic words. If you want nice things to happen, they're the words that should be heard. Remember, please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Say them in the morning, at noon, at night, 'cause it's a great way to be polite. Please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Sing with me. Please and thank you. They're called the magic words. If you want nice things to happen, they're the words that should be heard. Remember, please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Let's hear it. Say it in the morning, at noon, at night. It's a great way to be polite. Please and thank you. They're called the magic words. Please and thank you. They're called the magic words. I think those are two of my favorite words. Completely. Please and thank you. So thank you so much for singing with me. That was great fun, wasn't it? Oh, well, we're just having the most fun out here, having a picnic. And that reminds me of the word of the day. Oh my goodness. Today's word is polite. Being polite. Now, we've been talking a lot about manners, haven't we? And being polite, well, that's just one of the biggest things, isn't it? Now, polite really means showing kindness and consideration and respect towards others. So being kind, being respectful by saying please, thank you, excuse me, as well as being considerate. So if I go to reach for maybe a pie or a cake and my other friend goes as well, then maybe I just let them go first because I'm being considerate towards them. It's a wonderful way to behave, and it makes us all just get along so much more, doesn't it? Oh, I would love to share with you a project that just follows along all of this, and I have it right here in my bag. I decided that being kind and being polite is such an important part of being a wonderful person that I wanted to make a flower, and inside the center it says blooming with kindness. Now this is a very fun project that you can do at home. It's quite simple. All you really need is maybe some construction paper or different colored pencils and some scissors to cut it all out with, and maybe some tape to put it together. It's very simple to do, but the thing is it has all of these wonderful petals on it. So what I can do is I can remove my petals, and they have different phrases on them. So the ones that I've used, I'll go around the flower and tell you. This one is pause before you speak and choose positive words. So sometimes if we get angry, if we get sad, the first things that come out of our mouths might be hurtful things. But this is saying to take a moment, think about what you're going to say, see if it's positive, negative, and if it might hurt someone else, and then choose your words carefully. So that's my first petal, and I'm going to put it back on here. Then I also have help someone without being asked. So doing something kind for someone, or maybe helping mum dry the dishes, or help set the table, or maybe make your bed without having her ask you, yes? Then we also have encourage someone. Maybe your brother or sister isn't quite as good at you at doing something. Well, encouraging them means to say cheerful words to them and give them a good cheer to say, oh, you can do it, you can do it. That's being encouraging. Maybe they're trying to ride their bike for the first time without training wheels, and you already know how. Well, you can be their biggest cheerleader, can't you? And you can say, good job, you can do it. And that's encouraging someone. I have another one here, just listen. So maybe someone's having a bad day, and instead of trying to talk over them, just listen to what they have to say. You'd be surprised at how thankful they will be after. My next one is say, excuse me. That's a very big one. If you accidentally bump into someone, you can say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry." Or if you want to say something, maybe you say, "Excuse me," and then you wait until they acknowledge you to speak. It's very polite indeed. This one is send a card just because. You'd have no idea how wonderful it is to get something in the mail that's special that you didn't ask for. So send somebody a card just because. Maybe Mum, you can put it on the table and put Mum on it. This one back here says, of course, my favorite, say please and thank you, which I think we've gone over quite enough this time. So that's our flower. And the best part is we can take all these petals off and just have the stem. And then as we do each of these, we add the petal to the flower. So after you've possibly said, "Excuse me," you go, "Oh, I remember I said that. So I'm going to put it on my flower and create my flower." And you can do all the different sayings. You can use mine, or you can create some of your own as well. And then create a beautiful flower. And you can have it as big or as small as you'd like. But it's quite fun, isn't it? Oh, that's such a lovely project. I'm going to actually set our flower up here, I think. That way we can see it and remember it. Oh, well, it's just been so much fun having a picnic with you today. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I know my friends here have. So I hope that you just have the most wonderful week. And remember, using your manners throughout the week is just going to make it extra special. So I think we might just carry on with our picnic. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Scooter, would you please pass the cake? Thank you. All right, and remember everyone, cheerio, best foot forward.